An ESPN panel of experts compiled a list of future NFL power rankings, how these franchises will stack up over the next 3 seasons. Number 5, it caught our attention. The Dallas Cowboys, who have not locked up a quarterback for the future, obviously they have a new head coach in Mike McCarthy, are ahead of Carson Wentz in the Philadelphia Eagles. Damian Woody's still here with us. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Do you think Dallas should be ahead of Philly when we're talking long-term over the next 3 years?
Hell no. They're the Dallas Cowboys. Why would anybody put them ahead of it? Especially over the course of 3 years, they can't make up their mind year to year. They can't make up their mind whether or not they want to pay their quarterback. They took care of Ezekiel Elliott. Was it after he performed? No. It was after he boycotted in Cabo. Okay, you got Amari Cooper. You gave him $100 million, all right? But you didn't want to have him on the field in key moments of the game last year. Okay, we know what Gallup could do, but he's under Amari Cooper. You know, you just look at it, you're replacing Jason Witten, which might not be much considering that he's an age-old citizen, but in the end, we respect his level of production over the years, all of this other stuff. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Mike McCarthy, we get what he brings to the table, whatever, but look at the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? This is the team that Carson Wentz took to the playoffs with a bunch of practice squad players, for crying out loud. Alshon Jeffrey missed about 5 or 6 games, so did Nelson Aguilar before he departed. Deshaun Jackson missed 13 games because he got injured in game 2 of the season, and you only saw him one more game over the last 14 weeks or so. I mean, come on. You're talking about him being back. You're talking about the kid Jalen Reagor they drafted. So you got not one but 2 speedster. You kept Alshon Jeffrey, and you got a dual tight end in Ertz and Goddard. And so when you look at that, and then you look at their defense with Fletcher Cox and Graham and the crew, I'm sorry, along with the history of finding a way to get it done, because you're playing in the NFC East where the Dallas Cowboys were supposed to reign supreme talent-wise, but somehow, some way, do you know what's coming, Molly? You know what's coming in, Damian Woody. What are they? An accident waiting to happen. Take your time. Just wait. Be patient. Don't sit up there and rush it. Don't get caught up in how they're winning early. Just wait. Right around Thanksgiving time, heading into Christmas. If you need somebody to be Scrooge for your holiday season, don't count on anybody more than the Dallas Cowboys. And now we got DeMarcus Lawrence. You heard the news about him. He's thinking about not showing up, but mad respect to him because, you know, his wife's, you know, pregnant, all of this other stuff. We wish him and his family nothing but the best. We respect it. But nevertheless, it's just one hiccup after another. Remember, guys, this is a team that was once en route to the playoffs and got a dude got himself arrested for stealing a pair of drawers and cologne from a department store. I mean, you can't make it up. Just wait. All you got to do is wait. The Cowboys will not let you down. They will mess up. Of course, they don't deserve to be ahead of the Eagles.
I predicted the Cowboys were going to go to the Super Bowl last year. I did. And Stephen A. was on my head all last year. I had to fight tooth and nail with Stephen A. about the Cowboys, and then come down to the end of the season, the Philadelphia Eagles the Cowboys imploded. They imploded. So how can I go with the Cowboys again? After I've been scarred like that.
Damian Woody, I only have one thing to say to you. I reckon you're right.
Listen. I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to say this. The Cowboys do a good job of acquiring talent. They do a good job.
So what was the problem?
Almost as good as anyone.
Yeah. What was the problem? What was the problem with the Cowboys last year? Or the problem with the Cowboys in recent seasons, the last several years? The problem people point to is the one problem that they addressed. It was the coach, right? We've changed that. So maybe, unless you think the problem is more deeply rooted than that.
Wait a minute, but hold on. But here's the problem, Nate. And this is, again, I'm cut to the core. I'm cut to the white meat when it comes to the Cowboys. Here's the problem. Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl in how many years, Stephen A? Like 25, whatever it is. So, I mean,
1995.
They changed coaches many a time.
Right.
But there's still one guy, Jerry Jones. He's still the architect of this whole thing.
I can't understand how you can say that Jerry Jones is the problem. Jerry Jones was there when they were dominating in the 90s, and Jerry Jones is also responsible for building up this roster that it is now. Jerry Jones has several problems, but building a football team, I wouldn't necessarily say is one of them. And, well, up until this Dak Prescott debacle,
well, you see,
that's a mistake.
Well, you see, old Stephen A. just left, and Southern Stephen A. just showed up to the proceedings because you asked a very important question, Dominique Foxworth. You talked about what's the difference, and you said that they addressed the one thing that was a hindrance to them, and that was the coaching. Well, I would dare say something to Dominique Foxworth that I've never had to say to him before. I would say do your homework. Over the last 25 years, it ain't just been the coaching, it's been everything. 1 minute it's personnel, another minute it's behavior, another minute it's dysfunctionality, another minute it's the coaching, another minute it's the lack of coaching, another minute it's the offensive coordinator, another minute it's Jerry Jones being in front of the camera all the time. Time and time again. These Dallas Cowboys haven't let me down. They find a way to get in their own way. It ain't about the Eagles. Ain't about the Redskins. Ain't even about the Giants. We know that. It's about them Cowboys. Somehow, some way, they will mess it up. And you know something else, too? Right now, if you stroll on down to Arlington, Texas, and you see that big Jerry World AT&T Stadium, you know what's the most attractive thing about that stadium right now? That Marriott Hotel right down the block, because I stayed there. That's a fine hotel. But I got to tell you something. That's about it. Everything else about them right now is open for debate and question. And I would submit to you, Dominique, as great as Dak Prescott can be, the fact that you hadn't paid him and you created that divide, I mean, who knows what kind of friction that may cause.
I mean, you're right.
May cost the Dallas Cowboys at the end of the day. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.